This is Advice from a Call Center Geek, a weekly podcast with a focus on all things call center. We'll cover it all from call center operations, hiring, culture, technology, and education. We're here to give you actionable items to improve the quality of yours and your customers' experience. This is an evolving industry with creative minds and ambitious people like this guy. Not only is his passion call center operations, but he's our host. He's the CEO of Expivia Interaction Marketing Group and the call center geek himself, Tom Leard.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Advice from a Call Center Geek, the call center and contact center podcast. So we try to give you some actionable items that you can take back in your contact center, improve the overall quality, improve your agent experience, and hopefully improve the customer experience as well. What is going on, everybody? It's been a while. I got to get back. We will start getting back to the once a week podcast. It's just been a little crazy with, I think, everything that's been going on, and sometimes working from home, sometimes working from the office. Also have had to prepare for a bunch of webinars. I've been on 3 or 4 webinars in the last 2 or 3 weeks that have taken a little bit of time and really good experiences with a lot of really good people. If you want to check any of them out, go on to my LinkedIn. Talked a lot about COVID and work at home, and really hammering a lot of the points and evolving those points kind of as we've gone as well. So I'm going to stay away from COVID today. I'm kind of getting tired of talking about it. I think a lot of you are getting tired of hearing about it. If you guys probably hear another webinar or another podcast or read another post on how to do at-home agency, I'm sure you're going to probably pull your hair out. So everybody's an expert now. I think we got it all wrapped or under control. So we'll see there going forward. But a couple quick things here too. Advice from a Call Center Geek Facebook community is rocking it. So if you've not joined that, just head over to the community. There's the Facebook page and there's the community. Ask to be invited. I'll make sure as soon as I see it, it's only within an hour or so, get you into there. But, there's a lot of questions that a lot of colleagues have, and I'm sure there's a lot of questions that you guys have as well. So it's a really good forum that you can kind of, talk to some other colleagues about some of the things that are going on in your contact center or questions that you may have. Also, I'll have a couple demos, and I've talked to a couple of you already, which has been really cool about, looking to move your telephony platform and looking at some of the options that are available from some of the telephony providers out there. So if there's any questions on any of that stuff, please hit me up. Also have a quick little landing page if you want to enter some more information for a more formal sit down. It's callcentergeekconsulting.com. You can kind of check that out as well. But what I wanted to talk about today was something that kind of, I don't know if bugs me is the right word, but there is a discussion that's been brewing in the industry for a little bit of time, and it's starting to come to a head. And that's the role of AI in the contact center. And I know, and I can already start to see it because I've had people talk to me about this and call me and ask me about this. I can start to see some of the senior executives, or maybe an executive in your company, or somebody who's in charge of your call center, or at least maybe in charge of the budget of the call center, that really doesn't understand how you service, doesn't understand what you do, doesn't understand the role, and is really just looking at the bottom line dollars and cents. And it's going to start to say, hey, I just want to give all this to quote unquote AI. I just want a bot to do this. Let's just, take the people equation out of this. I'm seeing it, right? And what's not helping is there's a lot of advertising, a lot of posts on LinkedIn, a lot of people that are saying a lot of things about their product that are not even remotely true. So I want to talk about AI in the sense of, I am not naive, right? I am a technology person. I do not believe that the call center will be the same as it is now 5 years from now. I think it is evolving rapidly towards down the technology piece or down the technology road. What we're doing today may not even be remotely close to what we're doing in 5 to 10 years. And if it is, probably shame on the industry, because the technology is going to be there to do some other things. But I want to talk about today. I want to talk about you coming out of COVID-19 or looking next year at what should I do from a technology standpoint. And some of the things that these providers are saying just really are not that true. So that senior executive who doesn't really understand the call center and has seen a couple clips on YouTube of a Google bot doing a full phone call to a hair salon and scheduling an appointment, right? That's what they think is going on right now in the industry. And it's not, guys. We're not even remotely close to being there. I have taken demo after demo of people who have been saying, hey, I have this conversational AI bot, right? Not even close to that, right? Really cool. Still really cool. Listen, I'm not an anti-bot guy. I'm not an anti-AI guy. I just think the place for them is a little different. And right now it's more in the support of the contact center, and it's more in the role of a self-service model that is more on par with an IVR than it is with some type of revolutionary being that lives in the cloud that can speak like a human. I hope that kind of makes sense. So here's my argument against the AI right now is you need to push back to that senior manager and you need to really show him and tell him what's going on in the industry. And this is really what's going on. AI right now is a really cool self-service tool that I think will revolutionize and probably start to take over what the IVR did. So, it's kind of a one from a chatbot standpoint. It's kind of a visual IVR, right? That it can actually take the questions that you're asking, and you guys have all seen this, right? You've seen it on some of the larger companies who have some of these really cool chatbots, right? They can kind of take the keywords that you're using and kind of process them and kind of understand some of the questions, but it's still a little frustrating, right? It's still kind of sometimes they come back with either wrong answers or give you 3 options to choose and it's not the right one. So it's just not there yet, right? And that's from a conversational bot, right? And then if you want to get into more of the conversational kind of IVR, right, the voice recognition, it's better, but it's kind of just a really cool IVR, right, that does those types of things. It's nothing that is going to come into your call center, have an in-depth engagement with a customer, ask them how their kids are doing, answer or have a ton of different questions that they can then process and then do a cross-sell, upsell while the customer thanks them at the end. Like, it's not even close. So let me tell you another kind of piece of where I see this. So that's from the kind of the self-service model, right? So there's chatbots that are really cool, right? And I'm not saying not to use them. Like, we're using them here. They're cool, right? There's conversational IVRs and getting into that piece of it too, from not texting but using voice. Really cool stuff. But again, it's just, in my opinion, it's an enhancement. It's a huge enhancement, but it's a large enhancement on what the IVR does, right? And I think it's a better experience than the IVR. It's not an IVR, but I think you get my point. It's basically it's an extension of that. It's off the tree branch of that. Where I see AI making the largest difference is in the analytics perspective. Real-time transcriptions that are happening and going to be happening, that Google's doing it now, and they'll really start to come into play. I would have said this year, but maybe with everything going on, it looks like that's delayed a little bit, so probably into next year. But basically, how that would work is you're going to be on a call with a customer. The AI piece of this is doing a real-time transcription of the words that you're saying and a real-time transcription of the words that the customer is saying, right? And as this is happening, analytics from an AI standpoint is looking at all the keywords and making judgments on what the customer is saying so that it's like having a little buddy with you while you're taking a call. Let's say, for example, that you are a internet provider and you have a customer that calls in and they cannot connect to the internet. So what's going to happen is the transcription is going to go on. There's going to be sentiment scoring that the AI is going to see as well. So there's going to be frustration and probably a negative sentiment coming in from the customer. It's going to start to say, cannot connect to my internet. The transcription is going to see that, and automatically it'll, hypothetically pop the troubleshooting checklist right to the associate so that they can start to go down the list to check it. As the customer starts to give keywords or starts to say, hey, I've done that, or hey, let me try that, or hey, that didn't work, it can kind of take them down the tree of where to go next. So instead of maybe the associate looking and clicking and doing some things, the AI or the transcription and that piece of the technology is going to assist and be like a supervisor, super supervisor, right? That's going to take them and walk them down the road and kind of help them through that. It might at the end prompt the associate to cross-sell or upsell based on some criteria that the customer set on the call. So really cool stuff, right? Really helpful. I think will improve the customer experience by leaps and bounds, and also your handle time, making things more efficient, getting right to the point of what the customer wants, because the analytics is actively listening. We all know that, if you've worked in any call center, having your associates actively listen for what's going on, that's something that you're training and going through, and those are QA points that you're always trying to hit. So with that little AI buddy, right, supervisor, they're going to be able to knock more of those out of the park than they're going to be struggling from a QA standpoint. That's a big piece of the AI puzzle of where we are in 2020. And guys, it's almost that simple, right? Now we could have a huge podcast, and I've done a couple of these on analytics and where AI is going, but to break this down simply, when your senior manager or that executive comes down and says, hey, we want to get rid of these 110 call center agents and we want to move everyone to some type of virtual AI robot, you're going to be in big trouble. Because basically what you're going to provide your customers are kind of some advanced self-service models that's going to frustrate the hell out of people. So have him understand that, hey, listen, this is what we can do from an AI standpoint. And it might take headcount down, right? Because your IVR is probably antiquated or it's old. And now you're going to get, if you do this right, you can do a front end conversational IVR with chatbots from a self-service model. And maybe that takes your headcount down to 70, right? From that 110. But at no point are we right now anywhere near having a conversation, right? Every single call with a robot or with some type of conversational AI thing that your customer can have. We're not there, right? And it's just frustrating. I was watching, I think it was Mad Money with Jim Cramer, and the other night, I believe the company was called LivePerson, and I actually posted this on LinkedIn as well. And he talked about that coronavirus is now the quote unquote death of the call center. It's official. The call center is totally dead. No one's going to want to deal with this ever again. And I couldn't disagree more. I think that this is now I'm the opposite. Now, granted, I'm biased, right? I run a call center, but I think that this is the glory day of the call center. I think it's now looking at the technology piece and making sure that you have that in play, because a lot of us didn't, right? So, thank God, we were in the cloud. I think we had zero downtime. Everything worked really smoothly, but I know for a lot of you, it didn't, right? And a lot of you are now coming to me or asking questions like, hey, my platform could not stand up to this at-home model. It wasn't flexible enough. Can you help me move, right? We're starting to see that. So those people, that did get caught, right? They're going to start to make some really hard decisions. And again, I think the decision isn't, I go totally virtual and I try to figure out if I can do an AI. What I think it is making sure you have the right platform, making sure that you're in the cloud, making sure that you either have an outsourced partner that can take overflow, that can be a redundant source of quality for you to make sure that you can't go down, or that you have a hybrid model of at-home or maybe totally at-home agents in your contact center. The problem, though, is at-home is great. I think it's done a lot of really good things, but there's more management to it. You do have to watch the associates. There's more policies. There's more procedures. I don't know how many call centers are really going to want to do that. I think the outsourced contact centers, and again, not a sales pitch, just my honest to truth opinion, is that many call centers, many customers and people who are businesses that have call centers are going to look to outsource, right? Because we have all this down. This is what we're doing every single day. A lot of you guys aren't doing that every day. So I think there's a heyday for the call center. There's a heyday for people to actually talk to human beings But I know it's going to happen that many of you are going to get caught in that we want to go totally virtual and we want to figure out this AI thing and we want to have robots talk to our customers. And if you do that, again, you're going to end up with really cool IVRs and really cool chatbots that are basically going to give your customers self-service models that are going to frustrate the heck out of them. So don't do that. Start to look at the technology, really how it should be used. You can cut your head count down. You're going to pay a little bit more up front, but I think overall you will save money. Understand that we are moving down an AI world, and I could have this podcast in 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, and maybe I'm totally different saying, hey, the call center is dead, but it's not today. And I don't think it's going to be in the next 5 to 7 years. And I think there'll always be a place for the high-end customer service rep. The companies that are providing poor customer service, that have outsourced to poor outsourcers, they're going to be the ones in trouble. But the high-end guys, like hopefully, I would include myself in that and my company in that. I think we're going to be okay because we do provide a service that is really high-end, and it does provide an experience that I don't think you're going to be able to get with any type of robot, with any type of engagement of a mechanical being, I guess, right? Now we'll see, because I'm starting to use chatbots now. We're starting to use conversational IVRs now. So I am not anti them. I just need to have everybody understand kind of where they are in the spectrum or in the pyramid of technology and in the customer experience. So that's what I got for you guys today. I think that's important to make sure that you guys all get that out and you get that out to people and you have people understand that we're not at a point where we're having robots talk to customers. We're just basically, kind of doing some really cool self-service things with them. But we still need the human beings to provide a really good service for a lot of companies. So. All right, guys. Again, before I go, if you can please check me out on LinkedIn. My name again is Tom Laird. I post, 15, 20 times a day on LinkedIn. A lot of really cool call center stuff. Check me out on Twitter as well. Also Facebook for the community, the Advice from a Call Center Geek community. We also have a page, Advice from a Call Center Geek, there as well. So again, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it, and I will talk to everybody next week.